because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch. Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
People even calling me, asking me about him, and I don't know him from a can of paint. He even mentioned my name, saying that I know. I know what I know. I don't know what he knows, but I do know this.
Let's break this down. Something truly unexpected just unfolded. Imagine this. Jay-Z, the icon of calm and control, suddenly dropped his guard. And it didn't happen behind closed doors. This moment played out for everyone to see. No headline could have prepared us. The man known for being composed and unshakable had a rare moment where his emotions slipped through. It was raw, real, and completely out of character, like watching a superhero falter in the middle of a storm. Now the entire city is buzzing. But the bigger question remains, what caused this moment? What's really going on behind those signature sunglasses? There's more to this story than what's on the surface. And it's only just beginning. Let's keep it moving because there's...
And it seems to make a lot of people upset, then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. A black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years...
More beneath the surface. According to insiders, this wasn't just a rough day. Jay-Z's journey from the Marcy Projects to global mogul status wasn't easy. Every step came with a fight, and even with platinum records and billions in the bank, the past doesn't just disappear. Now mix in the relentless pressure to stay on top in an industry that never sleeps. That kind of weight can take a toll. Over the years, quiet rumors have surfaced, talks of stress, personal strain, even tension in his marriage. And who could forget that unforgettable elevator moment with Solange? That was likely just a glimpse of something much deeper. Behind the calm, well-managed public image, something has been building. And now, it looks like it's finally starting to break through. Now, let's talk about Queen Bey. Being married to music royalty like Beyoncé might look like a...
But right now, Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z, girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go, nowhere. Which is where people like me step in. I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, because ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce, and I say that women do have
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit, stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap music with goddamn a host of
from the outside, but behind the spotlight, it's a different story. Living in her world means constantly being on, whether it's for the stage or for the public eye. With 3 kids, $1 billion empire, and the world analyzing their every move, the pressure is relentless. In this business, there's no pause button, no space for vulnerability. You're expected to be flawless, always. But even the most unshakable people reach their limit. Maybe what we witnessed wasn't a slip. It was years of silent pressure finally catching up. A man who spent decades carrying an empire may have just hit the point where even he couldn't hold it all anymore. Classic example of the weight behind the fame. But maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a fall. Maybe it was the breakthrough he needed. Sometimes hitting that low point is where the real change begins. Behind Jay-Z's iconic shades isn't just style, it's a hit.
Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops you and disrespect you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
this. Who was actually carrying his baby while you was faking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you and put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep. Snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people.
Lessons and layers we may never truly know. A lifetime of stories, scars, and silent struggles. But let's be clear, this moment doesn't signal defeat. It might just mark the start of something real. A version of Jay that's not just polished and powerful, but open, reflective, and real. And you can bet we'll all be watching as that next chapter unfolds. You wouldn't believe the internet's reaction when that clip of Jay-Z's emotional moment went viral. It was like a spark hit a fuse. Suddenly, the whole digital world lit up. The footage spread like wildfire, and New York was buzzing.
Why the fuck did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, the week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So let me ask you,
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode, but for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys
and get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody up just so he couldn't have a good night. You Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Oof. Don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate you and AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you.
Quickly jumped in. Diddy, Rihanna, and others took to social media to show support. Twitter was in overdrive. Instagram turned into a live news feed, and TikTok couldn't push out reactions fast enough. Some fans were stunned. Others felt deeply connected. And, of course, the usual skeptics chimed in, calling it a publicity stunt. But whether you believed it was raw emotion or something more strategic, one thing was certain. No one could look away. You'd think Jay-Z's PR team would have acted fast, issued a strong statement, taken control of the story. But when they finally spoke up, all we got were the standard lines about privacy and personal matters. Let's be
Hey. Wow.
I'm going to tell everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow. What's your thoughts about Dame Dash?
Dame Dash got fucked over by somebody who was supposed to be his friend.
So this Big L is associated.
Big L is the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
He's been dead for years. His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets?
We were all hoping for something more real. Meanwhile, the hip-hop world was on fire. Everyone had something to say. Even Kanye, yes, that Kanye, stepped forward with a message of support. It felt like the culture pressed pause to rally around one of its biggest icons. For years, Jay-Z was untouchable, calculated, controlled, invincible. Now, the world was watching him in a vulnerable moment. It didn't feel real, like watching Superman break down. Some say this made him more human. Others worry it signals a loss of his legendary edge. But no matter how you see it, one thing is clear. The entire game just shifted. Let's be real, this might be the most honest moment hip-hop has witnessed in years. And maybe, just maybe, it's the jolt the culture didn't know it needed. Jay-Z has weathered it all. Conflicts, betrayal.
We're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone younger. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I fucked with did. Everybody, all of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Y'all remember Fox Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, woo, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Link St. Louis text. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so, that's all I remember. That's all I think about, you know, with the DeBarge and Janet Jackson situation. That's all I think about, and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. It was a tragic how she died. You know, trying to rush back to get to Damon Dash on the plane. You know, and what happened is the Bahamians let her fly out, and their plane was overloaded or full. That's the one thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them. The officials there, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make the rules pass, to let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly claimed, or you know, the not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. But in Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's, 5,000 and stuff like that. And I used to laugh. I was like, damn, black folks is easily bribable. They so cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. But yeah, that's all I got on Aaliyah, really. It's a talent. That's another person that life was taken too soon. That was a talent. Wonder where she would be now. Her, Pop.
But this moment feels different. It's not just noise. It's personal. And something says he's not done. In fact, This could be the moment that pushes him to an even stronger place. But let's not act like the story's over. Far from it. The streets are still talking. Will Jay speak out? Will Beyoncé finally break her silence? You can feel it. Something's definitely moving behind the scenes. Whatever comes next, it's coming fast. And the world will be watching. But here's the deeper truth. This moment goes beyond Jay-Z. It's sparking a larger conversation within the culture. For years, hip-hop has built its image on strength, resilience.
It was almost as if Michael Bivins was like having like PTSD from New Edition being a child star and said, I'm gonna find some real talented guys.
Do this again.
And I'm gonna fuck them over worse than we did. So we can say it happened to somebody else.
That's PTSD for you. Like, we're gonna make them relive it. Make them relive it. God damn.
Why would you do that to another artist?
Yeah.
Why would you sit there and say, man, we had the #1 record and we were still on food stamps, and then force your group to do that?
Hey, man.
Why would you do that?
Be your own people.
You want to know how fucked off it was for Big Mike at the end of his run before he had to leave Boyz II Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let me tell you how bad his finances had gotten after his wife ran through what lump sum of money they had on that god-awful soul food restaurant that lacked soul and promptness. 6 hours to get a turkey wing platter. 6 hours. We used to call it opening to get it in time for dinner. Get your order in as soon as they open if you want to have it by 6. That was the joke around Voorhees.
Jeez.
Jill bought their house. She got it cheap. It would have been a $750,000 home back then, but they were forced to knock $250,000 off the top because of the structural damage. Apparently, they weren't able to take care of that home. It was riddled with termites. Said the only thing holding it up was the paint. They needed the money, so Jill squeezed. And they sold that house for very much more than $400,000 less what it was worth. And they broke even. Is it the way you hate me, baby? That was my cousin Alma that sang that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me,
The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me.
Yeah.
I know you. Bitch. Wait a second. Did you hear what I just said? Michael Bivins fucked over Boyz II Men, and when Big Mike got sick, apparently there wasn't enough money available to help them through their hard times.
That's how it goes.
They didn't even promote that soul food restaurant. I mean, I can understand why it was some nigga shit, but maybe if they had got some real help, maybe they could have hired somebody to come in and help manage it. But no, they had to be a self-ran business. Because
Now zoom out for a second. This could be a real turning point for the entire industry. Word is, more artists might finally start letting go of the invincible image and begin speaking honestly about their struggles. But that shift won't come easy. Some of the older generations still view vulnerability as weakness. Many are watching this unfold with disbelief. Still, you can feel something changing. Fans and artists alike are waking up to a powerful truth. Mental health matters just as much as the grind, the fame, or the image. And if it took Jay-Z's public unraveling to bring that message into the spotlight, then maybe, just maybe, this moment is exactly what hip-hop...
Jill Scott, who was also an artist and knew how bad that family was struggling and took that as an opportunity to get a very, very large-scale home in a lovely, lovely white Jewish neighborhood for cheap.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
I mean, I'm just like, you could have said, I know you guys don't want to walk away from your home, but at least let me pay you full value because I got the money. And I want to see y'all be okay. She knew they were going to have to forfeit on that mortgage, and she squeezed. She was kinder to that damn dog.
Oh man, Putter, what's his name?
Flutter, yeah.
Putter, God.
You gave the dog an idiot name, and you wonder why he's shatting your shoe. The fuck is Flutter? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Oh, it's the sound of his feet make. That's your fault, bitch. You named him nothing. How you gonna like, Flutter? I used to hate that shit, and he hated kids, and he barked at people's feet. Like he was fucked up.
Oh man.
I can see why Lizelle says she shouldn't make no babies.
Oh man.
I mean, that was her husband.
So,
He should have known her best.
yeah, let me
She
say
wrote a whole
this.
song about it. It was a hit record. Want to hear it?
It's not for rich. Oh shit.
Turn on a black radio station on Sunday where they sell bullshit all the time.
Jack, I want to ask.
Nothing progressive.
I have to say, most people that watch our interviews or your interviews as of late, the main question that comes up is, how does she know? What was she there? So
Yeah.
I want to do it like this. I'm gonna name some names.
Sure.
And I want to know, were you around them?
Sure.
I would like to start for what everybody knows is Jay-Z.
What about him?
Okay.
Both of them were with Mr. Carter. Ask me what you want to know and I'll answer what I can.
Let's just start with the base level. Business, personal.
Both.
Both.
And spiritual.
And spiritual. Okay.
We believe in the same power. We don't believe in appropriating it the same way.
Can I ask you this? For you, did you find joy in the business or pleasure? And when you answer that, I'm gonna flip it on him. Do you feel he found joy in the business or pleasure part of that? Or spiritual?
He is the most shameful thing I've ever done. There is nothing that I experienced with that person that has not inspired shame except for Unplugged. That was the purest moment. For me, it was all done in love for music, love for all that was there, love for the culture. I hate the fact that we did it all for a culture vulture. For someone who never truly had the capacity to appreciate that moment in time, to steal it from the masses, to hide it, to cloak it. I put it up on Philadelphia last year when we launched. You know how many people came to the network to see that show that they never got to see? You know what's great about this year? I still got the footage.
There you go.
And in 1 week, Jay-Z Unplugged, the actual whole concert, from beginning to end, will be viewed and able to be viewed on realjag.com. Come and see the history. Come and see the power of that moment, the amazing things that we did with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. There was not one person in that room that was not elevated